I tried over 20 free crochet patterns. So I'm going to show you each and every one and tell you how the pattern turned up, how it worked out, if it's worth your time. Some of these patterns I tried multiple times with different colored yarns and color changes, things like that. There's a lot of no-sew patterns. There's also a lot of Sanrio patterns as well. So make sure you look at the timestamps below if there's a specific pattern you want to hear more about, and make sure you subscribe. So let's get into it. Alright, this very first one was a free Instagram pattern I kept seeing everywhere. I made it with acrylic yarn, just like the pattern. So if you made it with like a chenille yarn or a thicker yarn, it's going to come out a lot bigger. But with the big twist acrylic yarn, as well as some of the premier yarn, it turned out small enough to fit in your hand to make like a tiny doll or even a keychain. I loved how it turned out. And when I kept seeing that original photo like on Instagram, I thought it was cute, but I just didn't think it was my style. And then I saw again on Pinterest that another crocheter made it and they just switched up the yarn colors, and I was immediately obsessed. And that's when I knew I had to make it, and then just switch up the colors and then switch up the face a little bit too. And I'm so glad I did. So definitely try it, because this is just one of the cutest patterns I have seen. Alright, now let's get into the no-sew patterns. This one was a free YouTube tutorial of an elephant. I just thought it was so cute. When I saw that YouTube thumbnail, I knew I had to make it. And mine turned out super tiny because I used that slim or skinny chenille yarn. I use the toucan, that slim chenille yarn. As you can see, it's very thin, so that's why mine turned out super tiny. So if you're into keychains, definitely give it a try, because it is small either way. Let me know how you think mine turned out. The only thing is the head part was a little bit complicated, but once I finished it, it made perfect sense. So definitely give it a try. It's linked below. Alright, next up is this no-sew frog. It's also another YouTube tutorial. What I love about this one is I feel like it's just so much cuter and has more personality than a lot of the other frogs you see out there. There's just so many crochet no-sew frogs, and at the market there's a lot of frogs people are selling too. So if you want yours to be different, definitely check this out. And like I said, it's a perfect like stress pat or a keychain, and it's a true no-sew pattern. You're not attaching any pieces. You don't cut the yarn until you're done. And because it's so small, I feel like it's really quick to crochet this. It takes maybe 30 minutes, so it's perfect if you have a market coming up. Definitely check it out. Alright, here's another no-sew pattern. This one's on Instagram, and it's this tiny bear. You can make it into a keychain. You can change the colors, use different yarns. I made Winnie the Pooh. I love this one because it's so versatile, this pattern, but yet it's so simple. It's a true no-sew pattern. You're not attaching any pieces. You're not cutting the yarn and reattaching it. It is so simple. You could add bows, change the colors, and I made it for gifts. I made it for Etsy, and everybody loves it. And it's perfect for markets. It works up so quick, so you can make a lot of them. You could change the colors, and it's not a super popular pattern that everyone else is gonna make, but still that classic teddy bear that everybody is gonna want. Alright, moving on to the next no-sew. This is a tiny squishy whale. This is all from Jade. It's another free YouTube tutorial. I just thought it was so adorable. Mine turned out extra small. I think because the yarn I used was Premier Just Chenille, which is one of the thinner chenille yarns. Even though it's like a size 5 or size 6, I mean, the packaging's different sometimes. It isn't as dense as some of the other chenille yarns. So it did turn out super small, but I still liked it. And I think it's a nice one that you could turn into a keychain. Or I know some people just like having like a tiny little plushie as a desk pet. But it's a really easy tutorial to follow, and there's only like one color change, and that's it, and she explains that really well if you're a beginner, so definitely give it a try. Alright, the next free no-sew is the chicken. This is another YouTube tutorial. It does turn out smaller than some of those paid chicken patterns, but I still liked it, and it's just another free pattern that's awesome that you could really switch up and make it really versatile and have a lot of variety if you're doing a market or something. And it does have you like sew the chicken shut at the top, but what I did is I just slip stitched it, and so it ended up being no sew, and it works up really fast. And if you did want a bigger chicken, you could always just use a thicker yarn, so definitely give this pattern a try. And next is the gummy bear. Once again, another no-sew pattern. It's pretty similar to the other bear pattern earlier. There are a few differences, and it's from a different pattern designer. But what I loved about the gummy bear is you could make this in almost every color, every size yarn, and even with the thick yarn. I tried it size 7 and the gummy bear turned out huge, so that was really fun. But even though it turned out big, it still took the same amount of time to work up. So this is another great pattern, especially for beginners. Okay, and the next no-sew is a strawberry. This is another crochet tutorial here on YouTube, which is nice because she explains the color change where you change from the pink to the green, explains how to do the little stems and everything. And I just used Big Twist Posh in the pink and the green to get it this perfect squishy size where it's not too big and not too small. So definitely check her out because it was a really fun tutorial. So that was it for our no-sew patterns, but next up we have this bunny. This is a YouTube tutorial as well as a written pattern on the website, so whatever you prefer, she has both of them. And there's definitely sewing on this one. Each piece needs to be sewn on, the hands, the ears, everything. And I love to use the soft velvety yarn from Walmart for this because it gives it a really like chic, girly, coquette vibes with the velvety and the pink bows, and I just love it. It's so cute. I highly recommend it. And the next free pattern is My Melody. The next few free patterns are all bunny rabbits. This one is actually my free tutorial, and it's all written on the screen, and at the end I wrote it out where you can screenshot it, save it for later if you prefer a written pattern over a step-by-step tutorial. So in the tutorial, I used size 5 Big Twist Posh yarn, and then I also made it again with worsted weight yarn. It came out so cute and tiny, so you can always switch this up, make it your own. And if you wanted it even bigger, then you could use like Premier Parfait or like a chunkier yarn. So it's so fun to really make your own. Let me know what you thought of it because this is my pattern, so I really appreciate your feedback. Alright, and the next free pattern is this mini. It's called Snowball Bunny. I added the keychain myself. This is a free Instagram pattern by, I think her name's Mary Bun. Anyway, she has a couple of free patterns. I tried a few of them. I really like them. She's so talented. And here's her pattern and here's how mine turned out. Let me know, how do you think I did? It was so quick and easy to follow. A very quick pattern, and you only sew on the ears. Everything else was no sew, so it's a low sew pattern since you're only sewing on the ears. So that was really nice. So I thought it was really market friendly. And if you wanted like a big squishy plushie, then what you can do is just use a chenille yarn since she used an acrylic yarn. But if you use like a nap blanket or Sweet Snuggles Light, then it will be so much bigger and so fluffy. Alright, and next up is a strawberry bunny. It's in the Miffy bunny style. This was another YouTube tutorial. It turned out so cute. I was so obsessed. I thought it was really adorable. And I thought it was a nice different spin on all the strawberry plushies we keep seeing. Everything's like strawberry theme. But I hadn't seen one like this where like the whole like outfit was strawberry. So I thought that was really cute. So the head is like a separate tutorial. And then you go back to the original tutorial and do the rest of it. Because it was just in case you just wanted to make like the Miffy head into a keychain. That's why it was its own video. So that was kind of confusing. But then once you go back to the tutorial, the arms are crocheted into the body. And then the outfit and the legs is all one piece. It's not a separate outfit. And then so you're really only sewing the head onto the body. So it was fairly simple. So I really enjoyed making it, and it turned out so cute, and it makes such a cute gift as well. So definitely give it a try. This one was so adorable and is really different than a lot of the other Miffy crochet patterns that I've seen. So I highly recommend it. It's linked below. All right, this next one is a free Instagram pattern. It's by Amy by Abby. This is probably the biggest plushie in this entire video. It turned out huge, which was great. You know, it's nice to have a big plushie every now and then, especially if it's a gift or if it's for a market. Sometimes you want a bigger item in case there's a really big spender. But it was a very easy tutorial to follow. It wasn't complicated at all, but there are a lot of rounds, and then there's a lot of like stitches in the round, like, you know, they could be like 40 stitches or so in a round. And I used Bernat blanket. It turned out very big. It is very time consuming, but I thought it was so cute. And like I said, sometimes you just want a bigger plushie and not a smaller one, but her tutorial was so easy to follow, and it just had that really cute factor, and I loved all the bows with that little croquet style. It was amazing. Definitely try it out. The next pattern is another free Instagram pattern, also by Mary Bunn, linked below. This one's called Tulip Bunny. It's another Miffy style bunny. When I made it, I ran out of the light blue yarn for the sweater, so I went with dark blue, and then I felt like that dark blue didn't go good with pink bows or the pink tulips on the sweater. That's why I kind of left it as it is, and it's still really cute. But if you want to go all out with the bows and the tulips, you should do it, because that's really cute as well. There is sewing. You do need to sew on the head as well as the arms and the feet, but it's still an easy pattern to follow. It's so cute. You can really go all out with the details and make it really special, or you can make it simple and it's like I did, and still so cute, so adorable, and really easy to follow. Alright, and this is a free YouTube tutorial by Stitched by Scott. I used Big Twist Posh. This is another one where I think it was called like a flower headband bunny. She had a flower headband and a dress. So pretty, and it's another one where I just made it really simple and it still turned out cute. And you only need to sew on the ears and the arms. The head and the body is all one piece, so that was nice. It was really simple. So even though it's a bigger size plushie, it still works up really fast. So I really like this one. That was it for our bunny plushies. Now we're moving on to Sanrio. The first one is Hello Kitty, and this is my tutorial. It's here on YouTube, and each round is written on the screen so you can easily follow along, and you can switch up the colors. I first made it in this pink color with a two-tone pink dress and pink bow, and everyone liked it, so then I made a tutorial, but I wanted to switch it up, and I just thought I would make it in purple since you don't see a lot of purple right now, but I know this deep purple isn't like really in style. Maybe that's why. But anyways, here's my tutorial. Definitely try it out and let me know what you think. I always appreciate your feedback, and I just wanted to make this for any Hello Kitty fan. The next Sanrio character is Pom Pom Purin. This is from a YouTube tutorial, and it does take a little bit longer just because it's with acrylic yarn, so it's thin, so it does take a while to work up, but I just thought he turned out so cute and so adorable. And I just love the stitch definition of worsted weight yarn. That was really nice as well. The only thing that's hard is they don't work in continuous rounds. They do the like slip stitch and chain one, which I don't know why. For me, that's always hard. But other than that, it turned out really nice. There's a lot of tiny pieces. It could get tedious, such as his little hat and stuff like that, and the arms. But I still thought he turned out so adorable, and I'm so obsessed. And I thought this was one of the cutest Pom Pom Purin crochet things that I've seen. And then next is Cinnamon Roll. This is not my best work. I feel like if you didn't have the felt eyes, it was very difficult, but I still thought it was so cute. And the crochet part was easy to follow. It was low sew. All you have to do is sew on the ears. But I feel like the mouth shape is very specific, and the eyes were like a perfect circle, and that was really difficult for me. But I still thought it was a really cute plushie, and the pattern was easy to follow. Just I still can't find the felt in that right light blue color to glue on the eyes and cut them myself. So it's not my best work, but I'm determined to find the felt. That way I can get it right. So Pachaco is our next Sanrio character. He's always been one of my favorites, and this one is by Crochet by Kitten Girl. It's a free pattern on her website. She's definitely one of the most popular YouTubers that does crochet amigurumi, so I was so excited to try this pattern, and I definitely learned a lot. She's very talented, and it makes sense why she's so popular. And the best part is I used all yarn from the Dollar Tree, and he still turned out adorable, just so cute. It was really easy to follow, and I just love, like, you can see the bottom of the t-shirt, like that clean line. It just turned out really nice. It's like professional looking, so definitely give him a try. Here's another Hello Kitty free tutorial on YouTube by Crochet with AB. This one is definitely more advanced. As you can see with the overalls, there is some color changes there that could get a little bit complicated, but it still turned out really nice. It's nice if you want to learn more. The bow was a little bit challenging. I never made a bow that way before, but like I said, I like to learn and grow my crochet skills. There's a lot of tiny pieces like the arms and the ears. It could get tedious, hurt your hands after a while, but when I saw the thumbnail of the Hello Kitty, I thought it was so cute. I had to try it. For me, I had a hard time embroidering the face. I'm not 100% happy with it, but I just thought I had to try it because it was so cute. So I think you should try it too. All right, next is another free Instagram pattern. This is a baby chick / duck. I thought it was so adorable. I love how it turned out. I made it again in white. I thought it looked better with the safety eyes, and the yellow one I thought was a little bit cuter. But this one was so adorable, and every time I post like a short or any video with it, I get so many compliments, and it was really easy to follow the tutorial. So definitely give this a try. It's a really nice Instagram pattern that's just really easy to follow and just so cute. Here's another free Instagram pattern. This is also by Ami by Abby. We saw her earlier with the bunny, and now she has this sweetheart bear. I just thought this was so adorable because, as you guys know, I love pink and hearts and bows. So I had to try it, and it just turned out really cute. And it's another good size plushie where it's not super huge, where it's overwhelming, but it's not too small either. It was a nice, decent size. So it's really good for a gift or a market if you want to give a bigger item and not something that's too small. And I used Big Twist Pock. So this is another pattern where you can always make bigger or smaller. Switch it up however you want. And the next one is Tinkerbell. This is my tutorial here on YouTube. I'll link it below. As you guys know, I love Disney characters, so I just thought I would make Tinkerbell. And this is one that you can easily customize. If you just want a doll, just take off the wings, change the dress color, the hair color, or if you just want a fairy, you could always, like I said, change the dress color and the hair color. You can really make it your own, so definitely check this out. Alright, and our last free pattern is Crochet by Jenna. This is a tutorial on her channel, and this is the mini turtle, and this is a really good size because I use Big Twist Posh, which is size 5. And, you know, if you're going to use a bigger yarn, it's going to be huge for a mini turtle. But it turned out so beautiful. You could see why she's so popular here on YouTube because she's really good with the turtles. Just the perfect size and proportions and everything is just perfectly round and squishy and fluffy, and it's adorable. So I highly recommend it, and I can't wait to try this again in so many other colors. Alright, so that was it. Thanks again for watching. Comment below which one you're going to try, and also comment if you stayed to the end. Thank you guys. Love you so much. Make sure you subscribe. Bye.